billboards.
Joining us now is film critic Anna Smith. Hello, morning to you again. And showbiz journalist Sandro Manetti is in LA. Let's talk to you, Sandro, because you've probably had a long night. What did you make of it all? I mean, it really was, and I can see what you're saying about Oprah behind you, dominated by a really important message, wasn't it?
Cometh the hour, cometh the Oprah. The 2020 presidential campaign started at this awards. In all seriousness, Hollywood has found its champion. Oprah is the great communicator. What she said at these awards was the greatest speech of the 21st century. I urge all your viewers to check it out and read the full text today, because she really captured the moment and the message, which is that sexual harassment and gender inequality is a problem that stretches far beyond Hollywood. It's not going to be tolerated anymore. These Hollywood stars, they have a platform which allows them to give a voice for the voiceless. Everyone watching this at home could relate to it. Most award shows are forgotten about by the time the last glass of champagne is drunk. The Golden Globes 2018 will live long in the memory and is, I suggest, a turning point in history. That's how effective this campaign was.
Anna, Sandro's giving Oprah the big build-up there, and I mean, it was interesting that quite a few other people sort of danced around the issues a little bit in their speech. Seth Meyers, the comedian, the host, was quite sort of full frontal in some of what he said. But it certainly was the case, wasn't it, that Oprah Winfrey managed to sort of bring all the thoughts together in one very powerful speech.
Yeah, I think a lot of people probably knew that she was going to take that opportunity, and what a great orator she is. I mean, she had people on their feet. It was a really moving experience just watching it myself. So I think, yes, a lot of people perhaps danced around a bit, mentioned it. Little Natalie Portman we saw earlier, a wonderful comment about directors there. And Reese Witherspoon was very powerful in what she said. But yeah, Oprah really knocked it out of the park.
You are president, of course, of the Critics Circle, and over this last year, watching what's gone on in the industry, do you think, you know, there are real fundamental changes going to happen, and will we see that reflected in the films that we're watching?
I really hope so. There's still a long way to go. The statistics in terms of women in film, both on screen and behind the camera, are not great. They haven't changed in many, many years. And there's been more chatter in the last few years about women directors and about the representations of women and diversity in general. And I think now this is the time that people are really putting it at the forefront of the conversation.
Sandra, it wasn't really a night, as we've already said, for talking about who won what and who didn't win. But was there that sort of general feeling that the right people and the right films picked up the right awards?
There was. I mean, the Golden Globes are voted for by less than 90 voters, as opposed to the Oscars, which have 7,000 voters. But that small group managed to get it right. They spread the trophies around. And it was a night for female empowerment, and it was definitely female-centric projects like Big Little Lies and Three Billboards and Handmaid's Tale, which were among the big winners. But, of course, you mentioned the British winners. It's been my pleasure to spend some time with Gary Oldman this weekend, and it's great to see him crown his career with that wonderful performance as Winston Churchill in Darkest Hour, rightly getting the win. But if this award show is as effective as I think it will be, the real winners from tonight could be women from around the world. It's just a few weeks until the Oscars. This was just the Golden Globes. What on earth protest is going to be happening at the Academy Awards? We'll wait and see.
Very interesting. Let's talk about the winners then from the film's point of view. Three Billboards has another, you know, we see there Frances McDormand, a very strong female story, female lead.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Three Billboards is a very interesting film because it's very hard to categorise. It's darkly funny, but it's a very serious subject. It is about abuse and about women, and it's directed by a man, but Frances McDormand, really powerhouse performance, and I think this puts her in pole position for an Oscar nomination, if not the actual Oscar.
Right.
So it's very interesting to see this film coming up on top, because The Shape of Water, the Guillermo del Toro film starring Sally Hawkins, was another favourite to win, and that lost out, but that also got 2 awards, and Guillermo del Toro got Best Director. So I think both those 2 films are ones to watch come the Oscars.
What about the issue of wearing black? I mean, I noticed you're wearing black. Is that in solidarity
in part,
as well?
I thought,
Right,
yes,
that's
absolutely.
Good to see. And that was sort of chosen as a way to highlight the issue of sexual harassment. Do you think that was the right move? It was clear. It was. I noticed only. I think I saw one purple dress amongst a sea of black.
Yeah, there were 1 or 2 smattering of red and a bit of colour, but generally, yes, it was a big show of solidarity. And I think it took the focus away from what is normally seen as a quite trivial glitz and glamour of the Golden Globes and everyone asking about manicures, and focusing on important issues, which is good.
Sandro, and we're just running out of time a little bit, but how much is this a precursor of the Oscars, do you think?
It's going to change award shows forever. No more self-serving speeches, all about the big mission. The power of celebrity is to give voice to the voiceless, and they use their platform for good, and I was proud to be part of Hollywood Tonight.
Oh, Sandra Minetti, on that upbeat note, thank you very much indeed. Anna Smith, thank you very much as well. Thank you.
Who knows? President Oprah, maybe he's right, Sandra. We'll see. We'll see in a few years' time.